grab your lighters.
Hey, it's Sarah. Let me tell you why you should get involved in the fight for the legalization of recreational marijuana. How many of you smoke weed? How many of you know someone who smokes? How many of you know someone who suffers from cancer, chronic pain, glaucoma, seizures? How many of you are environmentalists? So if you smoke, or if you know someone who smokes, would you consider yourself or that person a criminal, a bad person, lazy, stupid, someone who doesn't contribute to society, or better yet, can't contribute to society in a positive way? Probably not. But everybody else does. Our society does. Most people think that if you smoke weed or have ever smoked weed, or even if you know someone that smokes weed, you're automatically just lumped in with a group of criminals and unintelligent people who do nothing but sit on their couch and eat a bag of potato chips.
That's why we do this. You know it's hard out here for a pimp.
Marijuana isn't just for those stoners who have the munchies and sit around. Marijuana is actually a very medicinal plant that has been studied and used for hundreds of years by people to treat pain, nausea, seizures, things like that. Marijuana actually contains 483 different chemical compounds. These compounds in cannabis are just the ones that have been found so far. And they actually really don't know what most of them do. But they have the potential to treat things like anxiety, Alzheimer's, ALS disease, even HIV-related issues, fibromyalgia. The list goes on and on. Marijuana or cannabis isn't just a fun plant that people like to smoke or bake into a cookie. Marijuana is actually something that is medicinal, that could have a very positive impact on illness and our medical field in this country. Legalizing marijuana isn't just about the medicinal values it has or what it can do for cancer or glaucoma patients. Legalizing marijuana is about the safety of our society. It's about decreasing the amount of deaths caused by things that are already legal, like alcohol, tobacco, prescription drugs. Alcohol causes 47,147 deaths a year, and tobacco, over 480,000 deaths. Prescription drugs, roughly 44 people die a day just from prescription drug overdose and misuse. If you like your environment and you care about it, here's the reason that you should get involved in the fight for legalization of marijuana. Hemp. Hemp is something found basically in the marijuana plant. It's another name for it. And hemp can be used for things that you can't even imagine. Hemp's been used for hundreds of years. It used to be a very well-known crop in the United States. It can be used for clothing. It's a biodegradable fuel, fiber for your diet. They can actually make hempcrete, which is basically concrete made out of hemp. Vitamins, rope, they can make paper out of it. And even food. It can be hemp oil can be used to substitute butter or lard, and it's way healthier for you. So what does all this mean? This doesn't mean that stoners just want a better way and an easier way to get their weed and not have to risk spending the rest of their lives in jail. This means that there's a method we've been ignoring, a better way that everybody has turned their backs to. This is about the fact that the time is now to make this change. The time is now to find better ways to run our society and to sustain us. The time is now to make the change to safer resources and medicinal breakthroughs. It's about helping people in our environment without more damage to water, wildlife, and forests. So how can you make that change? How can you get involved? How can you help our world become a better, a more sustainable place using a plant that's been growing for thousands of years? You can speak up. You can research. You can get involved in any pro-legalization chapter in your local neighborhood or your local college, your local community. You can find your National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws chapter, or NORML, and you can speak to friends and family, strangers, and just help create an open mind for our society about marijuana and its users.
Every last little problem of mine. They say my brain cells decline as I'm fogging up my mind, but it's just the life and times of a dope boy on the grind. That's how I get away. You know I'm high when you hear me say, that's how I get away.